Yo, what's good everyone? Coach D here, the Shift Method Personal Training, coming to y'all with another awesome YouTube video. Last time, if you saw the video, we did a full body workout, and if you're struggling for time management in the gym, I made it so that was only 30 minutes for you. Well, today, I got a conditioning workout for you that you can get done in 25 minutes. The only equipment you're gonna need is a medicine ball. Really good piece of equipment, good way to get your heart rate up, get a little bit of resistance training in there, but ultimately this is gonna be a conditioning workout for you. And if you're on a time crunch, you can get in a lot of good quality work in. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Check out the socials. I really appreciate it, but let's go ahead and jump into this video. So again, this is a 25-minute workout. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a 5-minute dynamic full body warm-up. That way we get ourselves ready to go. And then we're gonna do 2 main circuits. Each one's gonna take about 9 to 10 minutes. And that way we're gonna have our full 25-minute workout done and ready to go. So again, for these workouts, all you're gonna need is a medicine ball. We're gonna do 2 circuits again. It's gonna be 3 exercises each circuit, 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest, and I'm gonna explain each one here for you. Circuit number 1 is going to be a med ball run, a med ball slam, and a med ball thruster. So again, these are gonna be timed intervals, 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of complete rest. And intensity-wise, just like we talked about last time, we're gonna be focusing on RPE. That's that 1 to 10 scale, rate of perceived exertion. 1, you're chilling on the couch, watching Stranger Things, life is good, everything's easy. 10, holy shit, I'm running a 100-meter sprint against Usain Bolt and I got $1 million on the line, right? That's kind of the spectrum we're working with here. I want you at like a 7 or 8, meaning it's intense. You should be out of breath. If you're trying to have a conversation with your friend, the convo ain't going very well. You're kind of just getting a couple words out. So that is how challenging it should be. Not max effort, not easy by any means. RPE 7 to 8 is what we're working on. Circuit number 2, same setup. We're gonna do 3 rounds, 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of complete rest, and we got 3 exercises. We're gonna do medicine ball rotations. That one is gonna be 15 seconds on each side. A medicine ball chest pass to really get the chest and arms involved, and then a medicine ball setup, good way to finish up the core. So now let's go ahead and jump into the warm-up. Okay, so first we're gonna do a 5-minute dynamic warm-up, get our full body ready, kind of like what we did with our 30-minute workout in our last video. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our heart rate up a little bit. We're gonna start out with the assault bike. I really like this because it works upper and lower body, which our cardio or our conditioning today is a little bit of full body. So this is a great way to get your arms and legs involved at the same time. To set this up, you wanna get the seat at just about hip height with your knee positioned at about 90 degrees. So this actually probably looks pretty good for me. When I hop onto the bike, I wanna make sure that my toes are always pulled up, nice and tall, right? So I don't want my toes pointing down. I want them pulled up the entire time. And when my foot is in the 6 o'clock position, meaning my foot is all the way down, I should have a little bit of a bend in the knee. I shouldn't be hyperextended. I shouldn't have my knees up in my chest. I should have just a soft bend. And then I'm using my arms to push and pull as I'm cycling through. We're gonna do 2 minutes here, RPE 4 to 5, meaning I'm working, I'm putting in a little bit of effort, maybe slightly getting winded, but by no means is this challenging to the point where I can't sustain it. So we're gonna get our heart rate up here. Next, we're gonna do 2 activation exercises to get our muscles ready. Again, we are gonna be working a lot of the arms and the back, and so we're gonna use a resistance band here to go ahead and activate those muscles. The first one we're gonna do is a band pull apart. I'm gonna have my arms nice and straight here, keeping my chest up nice and tall, and I'm gonna have an overhand grip so my palms are facing the floor. I'm gonna have my shoulders relaxed to start, and all I'm gonna do is pull my shoulder blades together as I bring the band to my chest, nice and slow, coming back in. It's a little easy. You can go ahead and make the grip closer. If it's too challenging and you can't keep your arm straight, make your grip wider so you can adjust it to your intensity level. I'm gonna go here for about 12 reps. Let's do it. Our second activation exercise is going to be a squat to press. So we got some thrusters later on, so this is gonna be a cool way to mimic it. Again, you're gonna stand inside your band here, and you're gonna get into a squat position, just like we talked about, where I want my feet a little bit outside shoulder width, toes turn out slightly, and then I'm gonna hold the band in my palms as if I was doing an overhead press, where I got the band just below my chin. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna get myself set up. I got the band kind of in the middle of my feet. I'm gonna squat down to about 90 degrees right here. And then when I come up, I'm gonna push the band overhead, not excessively arching, keeping my stomach tight, glutes are engaged, and then come right back down. We got 12 repetitions here. Let's get it. And lastly, we're gonna do 2 mobility moves down here on the floor. First one is going to be some cat-cows. We got some sit-ups later, so there's gonna be some flexion and extension of the spine. What better way to activate, or I should say mobilize yourself into that movement than doing a cat-cow. So if you haven't seen me do this one before, I'm getting what we call a tabletop position. That's my shoulders directly over my wrist, my hips over my knees. If you're a yogi or you've done yoga before, you've seen this one, right? Tops of feet into the ground. I'm gonna tuck my chin, round my back up to the ceiling, and then let the belly hang. Eyes come up at the top. And you're gonna alternate between those two. We're doing 12 reps here. Bonus extra brownie points if you meow and moo as you're going through, but it's not required here. And last one, since we do have some rotational work with those med ball rotations, we got to get a little bit of rotation movement for our spine, for our thoracic spine. And that's going to be with our T-spine rotation. So same position that you did for your cat-cows. I'm going to take one hand, place it behind my head or right behind my ear. I'm going to keep my non-working arm straight. I'm going to go elbow to wrist, rotate up to the ceiling. Eyes are following my elbow. And then I'm coming back down nice and slow. Again, we're doing 12 on each side here. All right, so warm-up is done. Shades are on. We're about to get to work, y'all. So again, 3 exercises, 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest, 3 rounds. If you forget what you're doing, it's 3s, right? Because your heart rate's gonna be up. You might forget what's going on for a little bit, but that's okay. Just remember 3 of everything. So our first exercise is going to be a medicine ball run. How that's gonna work is you're gonna grab your medicine ball here, and if you're like, Coach, how heavy should the medicine ball weigh? You're gonna have to play around with it. Most medicine balls are gonna be somewhere between 6 and 20 pounds. I'd say start light, and then each round you can always go up if it feels relatively easy. Remember, we're not using reps in reserve here, we're using RPE, right? That rated perceived exertion scale of 1 to 10. So if you're like, wow, with the 6-pound ball, it felt really light, even though I was trying to push myself, I couldn't get my heart rate up, bump the weight up. Or if you're like, I was using the 15 or 16-pound ball and I could barely move and my heart rate was too jacked up, bring it down. That's a good indicator of how to adjust the weight. But for our first exercise, we're doing the medicine ball run. So I got the 10-pounder here. Essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna use a certain distance. I'm gonna use the track lanes that we got here. And for 30 seconds, you're going to run with the ball on your shoulder. And what you can do is switch sides as you're walking through or as you're running through. Now, if running is a little too difficult, no worries. You can turn this into a speed walk instead. You don't have to run. If it's tough on your knees or it's just a little bit too much on the conditioning, you can walk instead, and that is totally fine. So let me show you how it looks. Exercise number 2 is gonna be medicine ball slams. So how this one worked, it's very similar to a deadlift. I'll show you guys without the ball first so you can see. So essentially I'm gonna start with the ball overhead. You can get on your tiptoes, that's optional for a little extra. I'm gonna throw the ball into the ground, get my butt back is flat, slam with enough force, that way it comes right back to my hands and I can come back up at the top. So with the ball in my hands, again, I'm starting overhead, tiptoes if you can, throw it down and right back up, doing one after the other. And again, a big thing you wanna make sure, you don't wanna do it so gently to where you just go down, now I can't pick it back up, right? I wanna build a nice rhythm for it where I'm going one after the other. And the last one of this circuit is going to be a medicine ball thruster. So you need something to throw the ball against. In this case, I'm using this pole right here, but you can use a wall, you can use whatever you want. Maybe a neighbor you don't like side of their house, that's also a good option. But essentially what I wanna do is I wanna grab my medicine ball, I'm gonna keep it at chest height, and I'm gonna get about arm's distance from it is a good place to start. From there, I'm gonna get in my squat stance, and we're not gonna do a full ass to grass squat. I'm doing like a half or quarter squat. I'm using momentum to push my body up, push my arms straight overhead, and let the ball come out of my hands to touch as high as I can. From there, I wanna be ready to catch the ball, have outstretched arms, and use that momentum to go back down and back up. And just like the slams, build a nice rhythm to keep the movement going. So let me show you. All right, so now we're gonna do circuit number 2. Same thing, 3 exercises, 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest, 3 rounds. Just remember, when you're running out of breath, when you're confused about where you are and why you did this, just remember 3 is the magic number here. So my first exercise is gonna be a medicine ball rotation. Really great exercise for core, also works the arms a little bit, it's a little bit of coordination, so all around a pretty solid exercise. How this one works, again, you need a wall, something to throw the ball against. Even if you have a partner, you can do that as well. I'm having about arms distance away, knees slightly bent athletic stance, and I'm starting with the ball kind of by my pocket, arms a little bit rested by my side. From here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pivot my back foot, so the foot furthest away from the wall, rotate my chest to the wall and let the ball go, and then be ready to catch it. It looks something like this. Come back, bring the ball back, and wait. If you feel like you can't catch it, bring yourself a little bit closer, so that way you can be right up to the wall. If you feel like it's a little easy, I can take a step back and really throw some force into it. If it's a little awkward to pivot your foot, you're like, man, I didn't play no sports growing up, I don't know how to golf or play baseball, no worry. Just bend the knees and take the pivot out of it. Just right here. Making sure you're bracing your stomach, core is tight, and we're gonna do 15 seconds on each side so you know to flip once you hit that 15-second mark. Okay, so we got a little bit of love for the core. Now we're gonna do the chest a bit more. We're gonna do a medicine ball chest pass. For this one, same theme. I wanna be about arms distance away with a little bit of space from the wall. Soft bend the knees, chest up nice and tall. This one does require a little bit of rhythm as well. So start slow, build into it, and then you're gonna be golden. From here, I'm gonna extend my arms straight into the wall, right? That lets me know if I'm too far or too close. And from there, I'm gonna bring it back to my chest and extend. And then you're just gonna repeat that rhythm. I'm not tapping the ball into the wall. That's not gonna work. I'm just gently going in, pulling back to my chest every single time. Then once I get that down and I have the distance, I can pick up the tempo. 30 seconds. All right, and final exercise for the circuit, we're gonna do some medicine ball sit-ups. We're actually gonna do a butterfly sit-up. So let me show you what that looks like first without the medicine ball. So Essentially what I'm gonna do, a butterfly stretch, as you may have heard before, is the soles of my feet are together, knees are kind of out to the side. This kind of, if you ever have any like hip flexor pain or that's a little awkward for you to have your knees bent, this sometimes is a more comfortable position. So what I'm gonna do here, butterfly position, right? My knees a little out to the side, feet are close together. I'm actually gonna use some momentum, right? So I'm not just gonna purely use my core, I'm gonna use my arms to help me out a little bit. I'm gonna start here, back of my head to the floor, slight arch in the lower back, right? I'm not gonna stay crunched the entire time because we wanna flex and extend the back. And I'm gonna use my arms to give me some momentum so I come to a fully seated position. Now, let's say that's already challenging enough as it is. You can keep it there and not use the medicine ball, or you can even just do a modified crunch here, a butterfly crunch, if this is where you need to be for today. But what we're focusing on for a little bit more challenge is we're using the medicine ball. So again, butterfly position. I'm gonna keep a soft bend in my elbows, and the ball is gonna stay just above my head. I'm gonna use a bit of momentum, curl myself up, touch the ball to the shoes, and then nice and controlled all the way back down. And again, we're here for 30 seconds. And that's the video, everyone. Again, if you're struggling for time management and you need to get some good conditioning work in, you only have 25 minutes, this is an awesome workout you can do. Really hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, show your boys some love. Please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe it with your friends so that way they can see this awesome content too. Y'all know I got daily content on the socials. Be sure to check that out. Again, if you are in the Boca Raton area, I got an event going on at Raw Juice down here off of Palmetto on Federal Highway. It's free to show up, get some free drinks. Would love y'all to come out. Subscribe to the Shift Method Member Club. Do all the cool things that you see in the description. I appreciate y'all as always, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Later.